Alright guys, how's it going? I know it's been approximately 5 years since I've done one of these, I guess. But yes, I thought I would do another update because I am 1 year on tea now, like to the day, and it is another tea shot today, which will be fun and exciting because due to the pandemic and everything, I've started doing it myself at home, which is, just stabbing yourself in the thigh with a needle, which is like fine, but also awful. But yeah, I thought I would go through some changes that I've seen on tea. You can probably tell that my voice is quite a bit deeper, or at least I hope it is. Um, let's see. So, we've got bottom growth, not that much. A lot of people seem to be reporting more than what I've got, but that's fine, I guess. Voice, yeah, I think that's deeper. Hair. We should talk about hair. I have chest hair starting. I have like weird hairs on my shoulders. Like, don't know what that's about. The first patch of hair that was weird that I discovered was like this kind of like just above your butt on like the lower back there was like kind of hairy patch, um, which was just there, I guess. My legs have gotten even hairier, which I didn't think was actually possible, but it's happened, you know? And butt hair. Oh my god, the butt hair. Jesus Christ. Um, facial hair. I've definitely started getting stubble. I'm having to shave like every couple to few days now. Because yeah, there is stubble, which is good. Um, but also that interacts with the oily skin, which I have. Like, I have so much oily skin. Like it's better now that I'm using actual good skincare. I've moved on to Freederm, which instantly just made a lot of difference. It was really good. My skin no longer feels or looks like an oily mess, which is nice. Um, like I am nowhere near as shiny as I used to be. Um, so yeah, I'm using that now. It's not like 100%. I might like move on to another one at some point, but for now it's just fine. What other changes? Muscle mass. I'm like fairly muscly. Like, it's not like I'm gonna go out and win arm wrestles, but it definitely looks better than what I had before. So yeah, muscly. I'm a muscly boy. That's good. Um, I was telling one of my friends that I was doing uh, my own testosterone injections, like in my thighs, and they were just like, "Oh, is there enough muscle on you to do that?" And it's like, I'm so rude. Like I'm just gonna stab my thigh and instantly hit my femur because my legs are so tiny. But no, that's not happened yet. God. Um, Shoulders are broader, I found. Uh, my tits. I have shrunk from a 32E to a 32D, which is pretty good. It also means none of my bras fit anymore, apart from like the really shitty push-up bra I've got, which like don't want to be wearing. But yeah, it means my binders actually flatten my chest instead of just making it kind of weird, you know? I don't tend to bind anyway because it interacts with my anxiety, and especially with all of the fucking COVID stuff going on. It's like, ah, yeah, if you bind, you're at a higher risk for having a worse case of this. And it's like, prefer not to, thank you. It's like, oh, if you feel tightness in your chest, it's a COVID symptom. And it's like, well, binding gives me tightness in my chest because it is putting a tight thing around my chest. So maybe let's just not do that one. And I think I should also talk about COVID because, oh my God, what the fuck? When I was last doing these vlogs, it was like, oh, stuff, things, I'll go for a walk later. And now it's just like, oh, there's a pandemic that's been going on for like 6 months at this point. Okay, I guess. So that's hell. You know, that has interacted with several other things, namely, um, everything I get. I don't get to go to EasterCon. EasterCon was cancelled, like, because that was happening maybe like a month. into lockdown. Like it happened in April, I think, or didn't happen in April. Um, so that's not great. Um, yeah, COVID also meant major changes to my degree program. Like, so I deferred exams that I was meant to be taking in January to take them in summer because of all of the bipolar stuff that was going on and the seasonal affective disorder and it just being a bad time. So I deferred those exams and obviously I took them in August, which is, like about a month ago now. So obviously they were online. Well, one of them was switched to being a piece of coursework, which was fine, and one of them was like an online 24-hour exam, which was interesting. I had like a regular exam I was meant to take in the summer, which was also changed to 24-hour exam, which was fine. I passed them all. We're good. I also got 78 in my dissertation, which is pretty fucking good. I'm pretty happy with that, you know? So yeah, I'm probably gonna graduate with 68%. They've not confirmed it yet, but that is like my grade, I think. From what I've worked out, that is what it should be. It'd be nice if it was a first, but God, it's all good though, because I don't need to worry so much about my degree because I have a job. I just have a job which is starting in under a month with the company I was doing placements for when I first started this blog. Um, so yeah, that's really good. I'm going into their graduate program. It's all confirmed, all of the contracts have been signed. I am moving down to Chippenham to start that job in about 10 days. My parents are gonna come up here in about 5 days, pick me up, move all of my stuff back in with them, and then obviously go around and see as many members of the family as possible, because my parents have a car and I don't, and I'm not taking public transport to see any relatives at the moment. Um, so that's what's gonna happen there. Um, it's gonna be interesting. It'll be my first time living alone, which is scary, but also good, because I'll be a single person household and therefore able to form a social bubble with one other household, I guess. Oh, jeez. So, yeah, me and my girlfriend decided that we were probably gonna break up when I moved down to Chippenham, like months and months ago. Um, because neither of us particularly wanted to do long distance, but now we've been doing long distance for the past 6 months, so it might actually just be kind of fine. Um, I guess we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. Um, what else? God. Oh, yeah, the bipolar meth. Fucking wonderful, fucking incredible. Um, so I think I maybe talked about this in my last vlogs, but I started attempting to get on medication for my bipolar on the 14th of November, and it took until the like mid-April for me to actually get on them. So they didn't put through the referral uh, on the 14th when I asked for the referral to be put through. They just didn't do that and had no record of doing that or not doing that, um, which was bad, obviously. And then so I rang up again, like in December, like, hey, how's the referral coming through? And they were like, what referral? Which was bad. So I'm like, okay, I need you to refer me because what the fuck? Um, And they were like, okay, cool. We'll put you on a wait list. And I'm like, I don't particularly want to be on a wait list. You said after you discharged me that if it was within 12 months of me being discharged, I could just go back into the system. And they're like, yeah, it's a wait list to go back into the system through that route. It's like, okay, that's fine, whatever. So after ringing up several times to, double and triple check I was on the wait list, I was finally given an appointment for I think the 1st or the 2nd of January. So I went to that appointment and I'm like, great, would like to start on some medication. And the guy was like, oh, well, we don't sort that, we're just the access team. And it's like, yes, I would like to access some medication, please. Um, but he didn't do that. He went, right, well, now that I've seen you as part of the access team, I can refer you to the actual health service. And I'm like, is this not the, okay, that's fine. It's like, I can tell that you need help enough for me to refer you on to this service. And it's like, I could have told you that. Um, so that was bad. It then took another month for the referral from the access team to actually go through to the like actual team. Um, and I was like, great, well I'm with you now. When can I have an appointment? And they're like, oh, we're a bit busy. Maybe about another month's time. So it's like March by this point. Or like mid-February or something. And they're like, right, we'll give you an appointment. And I'm like, great. So I have an appointment with my care coordinator, who is not qualified to do anything. I'm unsure what her job is. Um, because I just sat down and she's like, oh, yeah, I understand you've been waiting a long time. It's like, yes. And she's like, oh, and so what do you want? And it's like, I want medication, like I've been saying since mid-November. We're what, like November, December, Feb, 4 months in at this point. Um, we are 4 months in. I would just like some medication. And she's like, oh, I'm not qualified to do that. It's like, okay, what's the point of this appointment? And she's like, we just wanted to see you. It's like, great. Glad that I spent like an hour walking out to this fucking out of the way place, so that you could see me, so that I could be seen and not given any treatment. And then there was nothing else to talk about, and it was meant to be an hour-long appointment, but she's just like, well, I guess you can kind of go because there's nothing we can do. It's like, okay, okay. I guess I'll shop at the slightly bigger oldie that's here. That's fine. And then I went home and received no further communications until a month later when they're like, oh, here's an appointment over the phone because COVID's just happened. Um, so, yeah, that was fun. I had a phone call appointment where the guy was like, yeah, here's some medication. I'm like, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, I got some meds, which was pretty good. Um, They only fucked up my prescription once, and I only had to make 36 phone calls over 2 days to make sure that I, didn't go cold turkey off my bipolar meds, which would have been bad. Um, that was pretty bad. So, yeah, um, on the meds now. Wonderful. Fucking incredible. Don't understand why I didn't go on them before. I do understand why I didn't go on them before. It's because one of the side effects can just be death. But that didn't happen. Um, so yeah, um, I'm alive. I am doing so much better. I can function really well, actually. I can do maths without hideous amounts of maths anxiety. I actually just sat down and worked on my dissertation and sat down and did my exams and like just revised. And it's like having this screaming siren that's been going off in your head since you were about 16, I guess. Somebody just turning down the volume dial on it so you can actually hear yourself think. In other news, GIC, no, nothing. I've been on the list for over 2 years now. I have had one communication in which they dead named and misgendered me and told me that their service was changing due to COVID and that I should follow these guidelines. And it's like, okay, guess I'll do that, but you're not going to see me for another year, are you? I have talked to a couple other people on the same wait list. They have been waiting 3 years and have had nothing. So, doesn't give me particularly much hope that I'll be seen anytime soon. Also, I'm probably going to have a hospital appointment to check out my joints. Okay, I can't remember where it was. Um, yes, I've dyed my hair black, for fucking goth boy now, I guess. But you know, it needs to be a natural colour for work. Um, what was I talking about? Joints investigation, I think. Um, so I finally got my referral through for my joints. April, I was meant to have an appointment. Obviously, that was switched to a phone appointment, which seemed less than helpful. What with, you know, my joints being the problem, and it's really difficult to assess that over the phone because I'm like, well, it kind of feels inflamed and it kind of bends more than it should, and it's, you know, but without them actually like seeing and touching the joints, it's difficult to get an assessment. So I got another appointment like June, July time, um, and I still couldn't go to the hospital. So I got another phone appointment, which was not particularly useful because it was just doing everything that we did on the first phone appointment, except I had like, you know, I'd been tracking slightly different symptoms, I guess. But they did refer me for some physio, which is also being done over the phone. Um, like I've been sent a list of exercises, but I guess it's difficult to, you know, make sure you've got the right form when you're doing them because, you know, there are some exercises where you can just do them completely wrong and it's not good for you. But whatever, I'm trying to work some of the physio stuff into my workout routine. Been going pretty solidly on the workout routine for like about a year now, actually, yeah, because I started around when I started T. I've like only skipped a couple days here and there. One time when I had flu, skipped a few there. So yeah, God, and then recently I've been having a pretty bad flare-up, so I've only been doing like gentle workouts as opposed to the full thing, because I think the full thing might actually just put me in bed for a week. So yeah, that's how that's going. I have another appointment coming up, where hopefully I will be going to the hospital. They've not said otherwise yet, and they will be taking x-rays of my joints to see if there's any damage they can see, and hopefully just to get a better assessment of what I need and what would help and all of that stuff. I think I signed all of my stuff for my job as like Mr. Hartley, um, so hopefully that should be fine, but they do have me down as Miss Hartley from my last placement and as Miss Deadname from my previous placement. So yeah, I'm unsure if I need to do anything with that. I should probably come out to the people at work at some point, um, because I don't think I'm read as male consistently enough for it to not come up. Uh, so, and also a lot of them just know me, um, from like doing placements and going to the like events and stuff. Oh, they're gonna move me back up to the York office, um, after I've done a year down in Chippenham, and I'll be like 2 years on testosterone by that point. Um, so that's gonna be real interesting. I'm not optimistic, uh, but you know, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure whatever happens, it'll just be fine. I think that's all of the changes, actually. Um, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this catch-up vlog after me not vlogging because everything was happening, you know? God, I'm looking forward to starting the new job, getting the, like, well, graduating, um, moving into my new place, getting everything set up, and carrying on with life. Oh, I should probably say the thing. This is my voice 1 year on T. Yeah, I hope all 2 or 3 people who watch this vlog are doing well. That's the catch-up vlog, and I'll see you all potentially in another year. Who knows?